Hello, friends. Susan Axelrod, the confidence coach, here to say hello to you for my daily Live at 5. I come to you daily to share bits of wisdom, inspiration, motivation, sometimes challenge, and sometimes commiseration. You know, if you have been following me, that sometimes I just sit here and commiserate with you. No matter how hard you try, sometimes life just throws energy at you. Sometimes the energy is beautiful, and sometimes the energy is ugly. I call it the good, the bad, and the ugly energy that we face and deal with every single day in our lives. How do you deal with it? Whether it's in your life personally, when things go bad as they sometimes do, or in your business. I just heard of a story. I can't really remember. It was a story, one of those stories where I did it all right. Oh, I know what it was. I was on a call with a friend of mine who's a CEO, and she was, oh gosh, she was telling me that let's just say, to protect the privacy and the innocent, let's just say something went extraordinarily wrong with an event that she was having. And she, the CEO, ended up standing at a copier making dozens or hundreds of copies of something and folding them because something had gone wrong. So, what happens when you're doing the same thing that you were doing 40 years prior in your career? That's big energy. Or if something is great, like today, I was on a podcast call with my friend and media coach, Cornelia Stephanie, and we were talking about the new Cornelia Stephanie KS Media app, and it was fun and amazing, and we had big energy, and it was like, what do you do to contain or manage even that good energy that finds you? For me, my answer is get outside, get into nature if I can, and now increasingly get get into some exercise, get into some form of cardio activity or weight bearing activity. Do something to let it out. And when you do this, then you develop a habit of doing this. And when you're in the habit of doing this, then it becomes your go to, right? A tool in your toolbox that helps support you when you need it. So remember, I'm talking about being in the good, happy, up, fun, amazing energy. Right? All that is good. There's still a lot of energy flowing through you, a lot of excitement, a lot of enthusiasm, and you still need to get to work or get it done or be on point or whatever. And so you need to do something to kind of let out that energy. Or, as in the case of my friend, when something goes very wrong in business, and there's another kind of energy, which is the I don't know if I got that right energy. There's a difference between, when something goes wrong in business, when something happened that just did not go the way it was planned or expected. But there's a lot of big energy around, I don't know if I got that right. And that's scary energy, especially when it comes to something in, for your personal life, in your, personal welfare, or in your business, which is your livelihood. Then you need to go out and really let go and dispel and dispose and discharge that energy in us. If we don't really work with that energy, if we don't develop mechanisms, tools, habits, methods to release that type of energy when it gets captured in us, then we're simply not going to be able to move forward in a strong, on point, powerful way. Instead, we move forward in a highly charged way, and that can actually backfire on us. Now, don't get me wrong, it's great and amazing to have like good stuff going on and be an excited energy. That is part of my hallmark. for so many years, more years than I can even remember, all the way back to high school. People have always told me, you have such good energy. That was in the day before I felt energy. In that case, what they really meant was you're an enthusiastic person. And I love that about myself. I love that enthusiasm is my hallmark. I think that's great and fun. And then, of course, when I am faced with challenges and personal difficulties, I do keep it real and say to you, I got stuff going on too, folks, right? You hear me say that sometimes. So, what do you do with the energy, the good, the bad, and the ugly? What are your mechanisms? What are your tools? What are your resources for dealing and managing that energy that's in you that's flowing up and down? I am now working as a trauma informed professional coach, and people have already begun. I only just got it recently. I've been studying for it I've been in the process for many months, but I only just got certified recently. And of course, I am enthusiastic about all that I've learned and the new colleagues I have and the new way of thinking and understanding how I can help and support people in trauma. And so I talk about it. I share that wisdom that I've gleaned and gained, right? You've heard me say that many times. And now people are finding me and wanting to work with me as a coach because I have spoken about and written about this thing that I'm doing. And so now I'm learning even more. People are calling me and pretty freely and quickly, since they know it's a safe place, sharing their traumas. And there's this energy around it, including old traumas, old shit, if you forgive the expression, that happened to us, right? That have stayed with us. In some cases, we held on to it like this, even though we didn't mean to, didn't want to, didn't intend to. And I work with people to have them open up like this and to let go of that and to let it go off freely. So that energy is also very, very big. It's really showing itself to me. I'm seeing that quite a bit as well. It takes a lot of energy to hold on to old stuff, to traumas that happened to you and that you now have in you. And so that's another reason that I'm speaking with you today, asking you the question, what are the mechanisms that you have to really release energy? Now, I shared with you, for me, I have been developing a habit of getting out. It happened earlier today. I had this, in that case, it was excited energy, but excited also sometimes is the same energy as anxious or scary, right? Sometimes if you're in high success energy, that can be scary too, as much as high failure energy. So I was like, oh, I know what I should do, right? Or AKA, I know what I could do. I could take Mr. Cooper out and go for a walk or whatever. Um, but I was a little bit lazy and I didn't really want to. But then I had a conversation with myself, doing the same thing that I will speak with my clients about. I had a conversation with myself. I was in self observation, looking at myself like, how am I feeling now? What if I don't go? How will I feel later? What if I do go? Right? Self observation, self coaching, asking myself clarifying questions to bring up what the responses might be. And so I was like, okay. I got on my sneakers and I went out. Now, to be honest, I didn't actually go out and do a run, but I did go down to the water. I live very near a small lake, and there's a small beach area on the lake where there's no place to really walk or run. I wish there was. There are, I never counted the steps, but there's very steep long flight of steps that sometimes I run a few times to at least get that in, to really burn off that energy. That's why I do that. But this time I just kind of sat there. There were a bunch of other people around. There were a couple of other dogs around. I had to hold on to Mr. Cooper, and I just allowed myself to, allow Mother Nature to support me. Mother Nature, the greatest mama of all, right? To give me that nourishing and nurturing energy and to allow me to breathe and circulate and let go, because it is Tuesday night. It's my business accountability group night with my favorite group of people, my own group. And so I wanted my energy to be clear and on point so I could lead and be in the great synergy of my own group tonight, right? That's an example of why I wanted to really work with the energy that was building in me. Now, for you, it might be that when you leave work, you need to go home and you've got children or family or people you're responsible to there. So if you have all this energy churning in you, the good, the bad, the ugly energy churning in you, then you may not be as on point at home as you wish you were: patient, loving, kind, compassionate, empathic, right? You may be a little bit edgy, a little bit nervous, a little bit abrupt or abrasive, even, or whatever, even though you don't intend to be that way. So today, I'm asking you, what do you do with the energy in you? What are your tools and resources? This applies both personally and at work. Why am I, the confidence coach, asking you this question? Because when we're tuned in, when we are aware of this energy expenditure, then we can be in charge of ourselves. We can confidently step in and confidently go forth, knowing that we're managing the energy in us instead of being managed by the energy. And then there's all kinds of negative thoughts that happen, et cetera, et cetera. So that's why I'm sharing that with you today. If you would like to share with me in the comments, what are your tools? What are your mechanisms? What are your resources that you use to really manage the energy that comes up in you? I would absolutely love to hear it. Please feel free to comment in the comments. I always read my comments. I will always respond to them. And I really want to have this conversation with you. So if you are watching this by video, please type in #replay and please let me know. If you're watching this on YouTube, it would be wonderful. I would be grateful, and I will love you forever if you subscribe to my YouTube channel. It helps me in more ways than you would know if you subscribe. And most importantly, it lets you comment on any video you see, and it allows us to get into conversation with each other. And that is what I want. That is what my YouTube channel is for. That's where I'm going this year and going forward. Okay. All right, friends. Thank you very much. I'll see you tomorrow for Live at 5. Bye-bye.